That was like years ago. We were going to do this before the advent of video and the COVIDs. We were going to do a podcast, and the
Yes.
first episode was titled "Winging It,"
Yep.
and we were just going to.
And I'm still upset that I can't find whatever happened to I spent a good amount of time making a very cool intro and outro audio bit for us, taking clips from various movies and things, and lost it. It's just gone. I don't know where it went. I checked my audio where I save all my audio stuff, and it's just
I bet Steve has it. Steve G has it somewhere.
indeed.
All right, you guys, I'm about to start recording.
Are we broadcasting?
I feel like
Yeah,
we're broadcasting.
Yeah, it says the
believe it or
content of
not,
this meeting is being sent to YouTube.
I
People have
am
been
sending
watching
it to
us.
YouTube.
Well, that's the theory anyway.
Recordings in progress.
Well, that's good to know.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night, 8-ish. Look, we're just doing whatever.
Eight-ish for you, sir.
Hang on, guys. This is my favorite new thing about the Zoom thing. Look, I went way too high.
Ah!
Love it. So, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a kind of a test run of a fun thing that we are going to do live at DragonCon. We, of course, all of us in the room right now, and certainly all of you watching, one of your favorite things, I'm putting words in your mouth and thoughts in your brain, is our classic TV table reads. We've read Alf, Small Wonder, Wonder Woman, Golden Girls. And this year, it's the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. So we had the, I dare say, brilliant idea. We're going to do dramatic table readings, very dramatic, of some of our favorite Saturday Night Live sketches. So,
And some we just think are okay.
yeah, some fair to middling, you know?
Yeah.
And much like Saturday Night Live, we're not going to announce what the things are as we're doing them. You just have to watch and see what happens. So I think, you guys, why don't we do the first one in the Google Doc? Now, the whole surprise factor may not work out. Look.
Seems reasonable.
And you might want to change the display right now because on the YouTube, Joe, pretty much we only see the person who is talking. So it's been a lot of you, which is, something we've tried to cut down on.
Look,
Yeah.
we've gotten so many complaints.
Well, what we could
Let's go to the gallery and make it happen.
since there are four parts and I guess
In harmony?
The narrator.
yes.
Yes.
We could just go down the line and say, who's going to do part number 1, part number 2, so that it could still be a surprise for the
Hey, I
audience.
like it. Let's do that. So what are you people thinking is how I make other people show up on this thing, on the YouTubes?
You
Should
go
be
to the view button.
Change the view to
Yeah.
the
Oh,
gallery. Kyle and I might do this for a living.
Yeah.
Once or twice a day, Well, an hour.
So up there at the top, Joe.
Thank you.
Gary
View.
for the win.
He's the best.
Oh, we have that on recording.
We do.
Oh no!
Preserved for posterity. There's no way around
Kill
it
the
now.
tape! Kill the tape!
Kill it.
Amy,
Purge.
quick, do a distraction.
Do the thing.
I am indeed distracted now.
I mean, that was hardly surprising.
That was excellent, Amy. Excellent.
Thank you.
Were you surprised? I was surprised.
So under the view thing, then what do I do?
When you click on view, there should be option of speaker, gallery, multi-speaker.
Oh, there he is not.
Well then.
Well then.
What you may have to, are you sharing your screen? Or are you?
I'm from Alabama.
Go to the drop down where it says YouTube, and let's see if you have any options there.
Explore, subscriptions, more from YouTube. No, settings. What?
Well, what are
There's
your
settings?
options under view?
That's not there either. I could have prepared more about this.
I mean,
but
we're
I
using
didn't.
a new system.
Yeah.
We might have made some poor decisions. It's okay.
Yeah, because
Look.
StreamYard decided to start charging people $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well,
everything was
StreamYard
working fine with StreamYard until they said, you know what you ought to do is give us your firstborn child.
But we like Quinn where she is.
Thank you. Okay. Well, enjoy YouTube. Let's get back to the thing that we said we told people we were going to be doing when we came here. And so all you guys have your script.
Yes.
So let's say there are 4 parts in this first thing. And there are 5 of us. So
well, there's also a narrator in the first thing.
I will narrate this first one. So that means that let's see. So
I would like to be number 1 if I can.
Oh, you are.
You're always number 1 in our hearts.
Oh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
All others are number 2 or fewer.
Yes. So that means
I'll be Sam Waterston.
Excellent.
So then I'll be number 3?
Yep. Excellent.
And Kyle is number 2.
I am the Deuce.
Deuces.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
do kids still do that?
I hope so.
I wouldn't know. I'm not hip with the young people anymore.
Well, I totally am.
Well, I am down with the street, yo. I'm good with my homies.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I have the Riz.
No, I have that, Gary. Quinn says I do not, and I reject her hypothesis. Scene opens with a group of elderly women sitting in a cozy, old-fashioned living room, chatting nervously.
My ex-husband passed away. The insurance company said his policy didn't cover him.
They didn't have enough money for the funeral.
It's so hard nowadays with all the gangs and rap music.
And what about the robots?
Oh, they're everywhere.
I don't even know why the scientists make them.
Darren and I have a policy with Old Glory Insurance in case we're attacked by robots.
An insurance policy? With a robot plan? Certainly I'm too old.
Old Glory covers anyone over the age of 50 against robot attack, regardless of current health.
I'm Sam Waterston of the popular television series Law and Order. As a senior citizen, you're probably aware of the threat robots pose. Robots are everywhere, and they eat old people's medicine for fuel. Well, now there's a company that offers coverage against the unfortunate event of a robot attack with Old Glory Insurance.
A pie chart appears on the screen reading cause of death in persons over 50 years of age. Heart disease, 42%. Robots, 58%.
Old Glory will cover you with no health checkup or age consideration. You need to feel safe. And that's harder and harder to do nowadays because robots may strike at any time. And when they grab you with those metal claws, you can't break free because they're made of metal and robots are strong. Now, for only $4 a month, you can achieve peace of mind in a world full of grime and robots with Old Glory Insurance. So don't cower under your Afghan any longer. Make a choice.
Old Glory Insurance for when the metal ones decide to come for you. And they will. Warning, persons denying the existence of robots may be robots themselves.
Old Glory Insurance for when the metal ones decide to come for you. And they will.
That is one of my all-time favorite things.
I actually used to show a clip of this in one of the classes I taught. I actually would do several of the SNL commercials. So we started with the fake commercials like the Bassomatic 76 and
Sure.
the shower in a briefcase. And then we followed those up.
Below.
Yes, yes. And then we followed them up with real commercials of those as seen on TV things that were utterly stupid and ridiculous because with the advent of technology, you don't know which things are fake and which things aren't. Sometimes things are just made to look good. And I'd show this one when we started talking about robotics, and sometimes the kids would laugh, and sometimes they'd just look at me like I was crazy.
All right, let's try another one. Let's try the very next one. This one is for Mrs. Rafferty, of course, is going to be you're going to do a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on with Mrs. Rafferty in this one. Who would like to, let's see, last on the list would let's see, would that be one, two, three? Oh, there's five of us. I want to be NSA Agent Loris.
Okay, I'll be Todd.
Excellent.
Todd.
All right, Kirkpatrick it is.
Excellent. So Sharon and Mrs. Rafferty.
Amy, do you want to be Sharon or Mrs. Rafferty?
Honestly, I think they're both really, really funny. So do you have a preference?
I don't. You get to choose. I chose last time.
I'll do Rafferty.
All right, I will be Sharon.
Wait.
Rhymes with Karen.
I'm so excited. There's only like one narration, so I'll start us off. Our story begins in a secret government office. Two agents are interviewing three civilians. Yes, I am Agent Loris with the NSA. This is Special Agent Kirkpatrick. Now, we know you've all been through quite an ordeal, so we appreciate you making the trip to Washington on such short notice.
You three experienced the first verified case of alien abduction, so naturally you are great interest of the United States government.
It's nuts. It's nuts, man. I mean, we're just small town buds who saw a UFO in the woods. I mean, we never take any handouts from the government.
Back to you.
Now, after the blue light pulled you into the spacecraft, what is your next memory?
I came to and saw a beautiful being made of like beautiful calming light.
Yeah, same here. That being touched my head, and I felt every emotion in its purest form. It was amazing. I cried, sir.
Okay. And you, Mrs. Rafferty?
Oh, wow. What floor were you guys on? I woke up in a dirty middle dome and 40 little gray aliens watched me pee in a steel bowl, and they took the bowl and walked out.
Interesting. Were these beings also bathed in light?
No, they were gray with big fat eyes, little mouths, and they just stared while I peed. I don't think I was dealing with the top brass.
And how did they instruct you to urinate? Was that telepathically?
No, I woke up. I had to pee like a camel, so I started peeing, and one of the gray aliens slapped the wall and pointed at the bowl. So I got the hint, kind of duck walked over to the bowl and peed in it.
Yes, I see. Now, when you all awoke, were you clothed?
I was wrapped in like a robe, man. Warm, glowing energy.
Yeah, like a blanket made out of pure love.
Yeah, it worked different for me. I had the shirt I came in with, but my pants were gone, so my cuckoo was out. It was full Porky Pig and a drafty dome.
Now, did you all stay on the same ship the entire time, or?
Well, my body did, but my consciousness was shown what lies beyond time and space. It was so beautiful. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just crying about this a little bit.
Okay. Do you need a tissue?
What? What? No, no, no. Sorry. I'll use my shirt.
The alien showed my mind the furnace of all creation and what we would call God.
These fancy cats are seeing God. Meanwhile, I'm starting phase two, which is me sitting on a stool while 40 gray aliens take turns gently batting my knockers. Did y'all get the knocker stuff?
No,
No.
no, no knocker stuff. Sorry.
And did you feel threatened, Miss Rafferty?
No, 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 no. They were real respectful about it. They were in a line, and then one by one, they'd step up, slap a knocker, and then go to the end of the line and wait for another turn. Oh, it didn't hurt.
Oh, perhaps they were collecting biological data.
No, it felt super off the books. I swear to God, there was one gray alien by a door just kind of peeking in and out. I think he was the lookout. Look, it's one of the worst Wednesday nights.
And how did the aliens return you all to Earth?
Oh, I was carried down gently. I was carried down gently in a cradle of light and placed into a soft bed of wallflowers.
Yeah, yeah. The light laid me down like a baby in a meadow near my house. I was smiling and weeping tears of joy, sir.
All right, now this pisses me off a little bit. My grand exit was out of what was basically like a big airplane toilet, all right? I dropped down 7 feet on the roof of a Long John Silver's. They threw out my pants separately and they missed the roof. My slacks landed on a freaking pine tree 30 feet away. So I just had to chill up there with my damn cuckoo hanging all the place till the place opened up.
Man, you got screwed.
Oh, you think, Todd?
Well, we'd like to take you guys for physical examinations now.
Right, there's going to be knocker stuff.
Possibly. I'm sorry.
Don't be. Just be gentle. Tell me about God. What's God's deal?
And ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amy, oh my God. So in most of me making this transcript was taken out the Ryan Gosling cracks up stage directions. And oh my gosh, that is one of my favorite things. And it's the 50th anniversary one with Meryl Streep. Oh Lord.
Well, and it's the really weird oddball sketches like this, I think, that really stand out for Saturday Night Live. I mean, there's always the obvious parodies, the obvious, let's make fun of the guest stars persona, like when they had The Rock on.
Yeah.
But it's these weird, outlandish, like where the hell did this come from skits
Mm-hmm.
that I really love. Like I remember loving and hating when that year that Billy Crystal and Christopher Guest were in the cast.
Yeah.
And they would do the skits where they were the two security guys walking around and
Yeah.
talking about all the horrible things. Like I tore my nail, then I dipped it in alcohol, and ooh, that's the worst. I mean, as a kid, they made me laugh, but it was just like, oh my God, who thinks of this?
I remember those now, and I feel like maybe we should do one.
Mm.
There's I found a website, and they didn't have one of my favorite sketches, or I would have put it on there tonight. They didn't have Johnny Canal with John Malkovich. where he played this Western explorer. It was a TV show, and they had a theme song. And he wanted to dig it was in the 1800s, and his plan was, instead of roads, just canals. And he would elaborate to the government people on how he would build these canals, and then every time they would question him, he would lunge across the table with a Bowie knife. And hijinks ensued. Highly recommended. Let's go do the commercial parody next. 3 kids and an announcer. Okay. Cool.
So 4 roles.
Yep. How about let's see. How
The
about
announcer is the big piece.
Yeah. How about Gary, you want to announce and you 3 be the kids?
Sure.
Let's do that. And I will
Okay.
skip this one and then do a lot in the next one.
Exterior, 3 kids playing with a happy fun ball.
It's happy.
And
It's happy
it's
fun
happy
ball.
fun ball.
Yes, it's Happy Fun Ball, the toy sensation that's sweeping the nation. Only $14.95 at participating stores. Get one today. Warning, pregnant women, the elderly, and children under 10 should avoid prolonged exposure to Happy Fun Ball. Caution, Happy Fun Ball may suddenly accelerate to dangerous speeds. Happy Fun Ball contains a liquid core which, if exposed due to rupture, should not be touched, inhaled, or looked at. Do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. Discontinue use of Happy Fun Ball if any of the following occurs: itching, vertigo, dizziness, tingling in extremities, loss of balance or coordination, slurred speech, temporary blindness, profuse sweating, or heart palpitations. If the Happy Fun Ball begins to smoke, get away immediately. Seek shelter and cover head. Happy Fun Ball may stick to certain types of skin. When not in use, Happy Fun Ball should be returned to its special container and kept under refrigeration. Failure to do so relieves the makers of Happy Fun Ball, Wacky Products Incorporated, and its parent company, Global Chemical Unlimited, of any and all liability. Ingredients of Happy Fun Ball include an unknown glowing green substance that fell to Earth, presumably from outer space. Happy Fun Ball has been shipped to our troops in Saudi Arabia and is being dropped by our warplanes on Iraq. Do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. Happy Fun Ball comes with a lifetime warranty. Happy Fun Ball, accept no substitutes.
Gosh. You were just saying, Gary, that's out of nowhere. This crazy thing. And what I loved about it, that was a commercial parody for something that even at the time was something that was like commercials for crazy toys. That was way in the past.
Yeah.
Even back then.
Yeah, and I love the way it sends up the whole disclaimer thing, because that was starting to become a thing when this dropped, of all the different disclaimers, like toy does not shoot, and then all the drug commercials and their side effects. And I just remember the first time I watched this with my friends, and it got to the do not taunt Happy Fun Ball, and we all about fell on the floor. But there was another commercial. It was another parody commercial I saw where it was talking about different disclaimers, whatever. And it was like, possession. Symptoms may include possession by the prince of darkness, swollen eyeball, hot dog finger.
Yes.
Oh, great. Hot dog fingers. I needed that image in my head again.
Listening to, every single drug commercial nowadays, don't take if you're allergic to, whatever. And it's like, how would I know I'm allergic to it until I take it? Like,
yes.
It's not like you're like, oh, this has peanuts, stay away from it. Like,
Right.
Yeah, well, and I see the ones now where it's like, may cause heart attack, death, seizures. And there was one, it was like 4 different types of ways it could kill you. I'm like, or incontinence is a big one that likes to pop
I'm
up.
trying to not die. That's why I'm taking the thing.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like they've done a good job, and I haven't heard many with anal leakage as much as I used to.
Yes.
Didn't that used to be such a big
It was
thing
a
in
big
like the
one.
90s and
Molesta.
early 2000s?
Yes, do you remember explosive bowel movements and the
Yes!
inability to control them?
Yes! Yes!
Like, I don't know what disease that's supposed to cure.
Yeah.
I'll go with the disease. I think I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was all about to try those Olista potato chips, and then
Mm.
anal linkage. I'll pass.
No,
I'm out.
sir.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, there's a sketch later on where I want to play the John Lovitz part. So in Unfrozen
Oh, I
Caveman
love
Lawyer,
John Lovitz.
I will open it up to all of you guys.
I would very much like to do the announcer if nobody else has a.
Excellent. Now the jury foreman doesn't have he has like 2 lines.
Well, there's also a jingle.
They're the jingle.
Well, I just did a whole lot of talking, so I have no
Yes.
problem taking 2 lines.
All right, well, good.
Let somebody else
You're the
play.
jury foreman, and the judge is only like a couple of things.
Here comes the judge.
How about I'll be the Amy, would you like to be the unfrozen caveman lawyer?
I would be delighted.
Ha
I would be
Legendary Phil
humbled.
Hartman. You've been training for this your whole life.
I have, yeah.
And let's see, announcer was going to be
Me.
Tony,
Okay, good.
Yes. So is that everybody?
Yep.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Or we're saying it is.
Well, who's doing
Yeah.
the jingle? Does that mean Kyle?
I'll do the
doing
jingle.
the jingle?
Okay.
Joe
Yeah.
jingle.
Joe does good jingles.
Thank you.
Jingle Joe. All right.
That's me.
100,000 years ago, a caveman was out hunting on the frozen wastes when he slipped and fell into a crevice. In 1988, he was discovered by some scientists and thawed out. He then went to law school and became unfrozen caveman lawyer.
He used to be a caveman, now he's a lawyer. Unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Brought to you by Lawn Destroyer. When you don't even care anymore, and by Cubic Yard of Earthworms. What you do with it is your business. And by Wilson Ear Drill, we don't recommend that you use an ear drill, but if you insist, why not get the best? And now, tonight's episode of Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
I think that's you, Kyle.
Oh, I totally missed the mark. Mr. Keyrock, are you ready to give your summation?
It's just Key Rock, Your Honor. And yes, I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm just a caveman. I fell on some ice and was later thawed by some of your scientists. Your world frightens and confuses me. Sometimes when I fly to Europe on the Concorde, I wonder, am I inside some sort of giant bird? Am I going to be digested? I don't know, because I'm a caveman, and that's the way I think. When I'm courtside at a Knicks game, I wonder if the ball is some sort of food they're fighting over. When I see my image on the security camera at the country club, I wonder, are they stealing my soul? I get so upset. I hop out of my Range Rover and run across the fairway to the clubhouse where I can get Carlos to make me one of those martinis he's so famous for, to soothe my primitive caveman brain. But whatever world you're from, I do know one thing. In the 20 years from March 22nd, 1972, and when he first ordered that extra nicotine be put into his product until February 25th, 1992, when he issued an inter-office memorandum stopping the addition of that nicotine, my client was legally insane. And for that reason, I ask that you find him not guilty. Thank you.
The jury will now retire to deliberate.
Your Honor, I don't think we need to retire. Keyrock's words are just as true now as they were in his time. We find the defendant not guilty.
Did you hear that, Mr. Keyrock? Mr. Keyrock.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was watching the tiny men trapped inside this strange modern device.
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer has been brought to you by Chili Be Gone, Soothes eyes inflamed by chili spray, and by Spider Whistle. Spiders come crawling when you start blowing, and also works on certain ants.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh, all through that reminded me of the single female lawyer episode of Futurama.
Yes.
yes.
Single female lawyer.
I don't think there's anything in this world that doesn't remind you of an episode of Futurama.
Yeah.
That just shows you how good Futurama is.
You see, I was watching an episode of Futurama, and it reminded me of an episode of Futurama.
Yeah, and then there's that.
There's also that, yes. The
world's most depressing scene in television history.
No question.
No. Gary,
Well,
no.
And they still found time to make fun of New Jersey, so whatever.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
You
absolutely.
can't. There's always room for New Jersey.
All right, what's the catch?
Okay. We already now I want to just do all Phil Hartman sketches.
Yes. That man was a gift.
He
was so
Truly,
good.
Tim
truly.
so.
He was so funny.
The Phil Hartman times, I think, was for me the prime time of watching SNL. Now I watched it since I was like 10, but that's just some of my favorite stuff. I think it informed how I attempt to amuse people. For good or ill, I think Phil Hartman's.
Truly, we have found the source of the madness.
Yes.
Well, I remember being like 7 years old. And I would spend the Saturday night at my dad's trailer, and he and the lady who was dating at the time would go to bed, and I was sleeping on the couch. So at about midnight or so, I sneakily turned the TV on, and I would flip back and forth between Monster Chiller Horror Theater and this other show that had these weird people doing weird comedy, and it said Saturday Night Line because I could not read cursive real well at that age. So I kept telling people, I'm watching this show, Saturday Night Line. It's really weird. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? Why are you up that late?
I would have to try to survive Saturday Night Live to get to SCTV, which still, I've got those on DVD now, and I have not watched them because I treasure them so much. But all of that stuff, that was I never slept apparently when I was in the early 80s. I slept not at all. So we can do Lord and Lady Douchebag now, if you guys would do that.
Yeah, this is actually one of the groundbreaking sketches of this is early on in the run, and I remember this is the whole reason the sketch exists is they got told, by standards and practices, well, you can't use these words or these words, and then they saw douchebag was not forbidden. So it was like, oh, well, let's have some fun with this. And they literally broke television ground with this.
Have any of you guys seen the Saturday Night movie that dramatized the first episode?
Yeah.
I watched that, and I watched the actual first episode right before it. And that movie is way more enjoyable than that first episode.
This episode's a little rough. Being honest.
Yeah, George Carlin was like the highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then
that whole first season's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for prime time.
They were not.
They announced that on the front end. Hey guys, we are not ready for prime time. Lower your expectations. Brilliant.
Oh my gosh. But after all the buildup of George Carlin, so I saw the first, and I don't know that I'd seen the whole first episode before.
Mhm.
So I watched that, then I watched the movie, and he does 4 stand-up bits in the first episode, and then come to find out in the movie that he almost died from cocaine, and
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd revived him
Yeah.
right
He
before the
was.
show.
Yeah.
That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Carlin has said he doesn't remember doing it. That's how high he was.
Excellent. So why don't we do like the butler has a big role. Like he has to do a lot of big stuff. So why don't how about I'll do let's see, Lord Worcestershire and Lord Salisbury. And Lord and Lady Douchebag, I feel like that's got to be ToniAnn and Kyle.
Typecasting.
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
This is
I
going
will
to
be noble woman.
fun.
Excellent.
Well, then I guess I'll take the butler.
Okay.
There also appears to be an Earl of Sandwich
Oh, okay.
later on.
I'll be nobleman and Earl of Sandwich.
I don't think we addressed the Wilkinsons either.
Oh, yeah, we skipped the
Yeah.
Wilkinsons entirely.
Yeah.
I think Amy should be both noble woman and noble man.
Okay. Yeah.
Noble woman and noble man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle, we could probably be the Wilkinsons too.
That
Yeah.
does sound like fun. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
so
Do we have everybody?
I think
think we
so.
do.
If not, we'll fake it.
Yeah. We'll wing it. All right. Noblewoman, if you
A
please.
splendid party. I do believe anyone of any importance in England is here tonight. Who would miss a party given by Lord Salisbury?
Lord and Lady Wilkinson.
A marvelous entertainment, Salisbury. These chopped steaks are terrific, especially with this delicious mushroom sauce. Oh, thank you. Coming from you, Worcestershire, that certainly is a compliment. Lord and Lady Wilkinson, welcome. Tell me, Wilkinson, what the deuce is the purpose of 2 swords?
It's simple, really. Let's say you're an attacker. My first blade straightens you upright, while the second clips you neatly at the ankles.
And there's Lady Wilkinson for attacking your opponent's underarms and legs.
Earl of Sandwich.
Tell me, have you seen Lord Cardigan? I understand he was turned away at the door. Lord Cardigan? Why in heaven's name? He wasn't properly attired. Evidently, he came in a sweater. Odd. I saw Lord Ascot and he got in.
The Duke and Duchess of Argyle.
You know, Sandwich, were the Sandwich Islands named after you? Oh no, everyone asks me that, but I'm afraid nothing has ever been named after a member of my family.
Excuse me, your lordship. Would you care for one of Lord Salisbury's steaks?
Yes, I would. Would you bring it to me with a couple slices of pumpernickel, please?
Yes. Lord and Lady Douchebag.
Well, well, well. I was just asking Lord Sandwich, where the devil are those douchebags?
Well, it has been impossible to get him out of his workshop. He has been working day and night.
You douchebag? Well, I wasn't aware you dabbled in that sort of thing. What in heaven's name are you working on?
Well, I would be happy to tell you, but perhaps after you have finished eating.
Well, here's Chambers right now. Would you like something to eat?
We're not too hungry right now. Just a plate of raw
Oh,
vegetables.
God. Would you like some dressing with that?
Just some vinegar and water. Thank you.
Douchebag, how are you? I haven't seen you in the House of Lords in ages. Don't tell me for the first time in memory we're going to have a House of Parliament without a douchebag.
My dear Sandwich, Parliament has always had its share of douchebags, and it always will.
Spoken like a true douchebag. I have often heard the king speak of your family, and of yours as well, Earl of Sandwich. Give me a sandwich and a douchebag, and there's nothing I cannot do. Hear, hear. So tell me, douchebag, when are you going to show us that invention of yours? Yes, douchebag, just what kind of an invention are you sitting on?
Well, it's a long story. Why don't we go out to the garden and I'll explain it to you?
Tell me, did Lady Douchebag help you with this project?
Help? Why, she was the inspiration.
Lord Compost Heap and Lady Disinfectant Cake.
I feel like I became Lord Salisbury at one point.
Oh, the
It was
quintessential,
transcendent.
quintessential Salisbury. Like, oh,
Oh my gosh.
Your performance, sir, raised the stakes.
Get out,
Hey!
Gary! No!
There it is.
Gary, no!
No.
oh, it hurts.
This last
hurts so
one
good.
is one of my personal all-time favorites. And I don't know why. It's just so weird and great. And I think Jan Hooks may be my favorite part of the whole thing. But I would like to beg your indulgence, and I would like to be Mephistopheles.
Um,
3, 4. Oh, there's just one. Yeah, there's 4 more.
so who wants to be Judge Wapner? Wapner in 4 minutes. Wapner. For kids who don't get that joke, that is a reference to the movie Rain Man with Dustin
Hey.
Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Ask your parents who Tom Cruise was.
And who he
I
became.
wouldn't mind being the judge.
Okay.
All right.
So we need a Doug. I could be
Uh,
Doug.
Okay.
Okay.
If anybody else wants to be Doug, they could also be Doug, but
Yeah.
they could be Doug.
All right. Well, then I will be Vonda.
Oh, yes, please.
Apparently,
And
Vonda also has a mother.
I will be the mother.
the mother is Rosanna Arquette.
Eh.
Nice.
Yep.
So People's
right.
Court versus the Devil. Dun 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 dun. Trying to remember how that music went for the People's Court.
Remember that either?
This is Vonda Braithwaite, the plaintiff. She sold her immortal soul to the devil in exchange for success in her hairdressing business, but now claims that the devil cheated her. She seeks nullification of the contract plus damages.
Bottom of the screen. Vonda Braithwaite, plaintiff, suing for nullification of contract plus $1,800.
This is Mephistopheles, the devil. He claims that he did keep his part of the bargain, and that the plaintiff is simply trying to welsh out of her legal commitment. He seeks the soul plus court costs.
Bottom of the screen. Mephistopheles, the devil, defendant, suing for soul plus court costs.
The situation you are about to see is real. The people are not actors. They are actual litigants and cases filed in a California municipal court. They have agreed to waive their right to trial and to have their disputes settled in our forum. The People's Court.
Mhm.
Hello, I'm Doug Llewellyn. In a moment, the case of the beautician and the beast. Judge Wapner will enter the courtroom shortly to hear testimony from the 2 parties. Oh, and here she is now.
Please be seated. I've read your statements. Now, Miss Braithwaite, you are the owner of a business establishment known as the Hair Affair.
Yes, Your Honor.
And several months ago, the defendant appeared to you in the form of some kind of large dog.
A Rottweiler, Your Honor.
And you agreed to sell your mortal soul in return for success in the hairstyling field, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mephistopheles?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have here a copy of the contract. I see that it is written in blood. The language in this document is fairly vague. Now, how exactly did you help Miss Braithwaite's business?
Well, Your Honor, in addition to giving her day-to-day advice in the running of a small business, tax planning, and so on, I advanced her nearly $2,700 for new equipment. Now, I have here 3 canceled checks. One is for $1,260. One is for $940.
May I see those, please?
Yes.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
This is a receipt from the Anita Barber Supply Company for 3 bonnet-style hair dryers. As you can see, they...
Yes, I'll study this. Miss Braithwaite, is this your signature on this check?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would like to say something if I could, please.
Excuse me? Are you a relative of the plaintiff?
I am her mother.
And what is your occupation?
I'm a barfly.
And by that, you mean you loiter in bars waiting for men you don't know to buy you drinks?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Well, I don't think that Vonda here knew what she was getting into with this contract now. She's only 18 years old, Your Honor. 18, going on 8.
Mother!
It's true. Now, I'm telling you, she doesn't understand words like immortality or a soul or eternity or any of that business.
Mother, I do.
Vonda, I'm going to smack you, honey. You got to hush.
All right. Thank you. I will take that under advisement. Now, Miss Braithwaite, in your deposition, you state that shortly after you started your business and went into agreement with the devil, your business actually began to lose money. Now, is this your idea of success in business, Mr. Mephistopheles?
Well, Your Honor, that was kind of a trick. You see, as I promised Miss Braithwaite, I made her a great hairdresser. Her coiffs were magical. Once you got one, you never needed another.
So there was no repeat business.
Exactly. But it's more or less customary for me to cheat mortals in this way by observing only the letter of the agreement. For example, I'll give someone eternal youth and then have them sentenced to life imprisonment. That sort of thing. It's pretty standard. I'm the devil.
Now, according to Miss Braithwaite's deposition, shortly after she filed the lawsuit, you began to harass her. Is that correct?
Your Honor, that is totally ridiculous.
What about coming to my house in the form of a black cat?
That was probably a black cat.
Throwing all that garbage into our yard. What was that?
I did not put garbage into your yard.
Who hit my car in the parking lot? It didn't dent itself.
Now you listen to me. I'm Mephistopheles, the Prince of Darkness. When I start harassing you, you'll know it.
I'll tell you, if I find any more garbage in my yard, I'm going to...
Shut up! Shut up!
Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Mephistopheles, I'm warning you. You may hold dominion over the nether regions, but I run this court. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if the parties have calmed down, I'm ready with my decision. It's clear that there was a contract between the two parties. What's not clear is the extent to which the defendant kept his part of the bargain.
Your Honor, it's clear that...
Mr. Mephistopheles, please. But in the view of the plaintiff's age and the fact that she did not obviously understand what she was getting into, the court must find for Miss Braithwaite. The defendant is hereby ordered to pay damages and also to maintain a minimum distance of 500 yards between himself and the plaintiff at all times.
So, Judge Wapner finds for the plaintiff, Vonda Braithwaite. Let's get a reaction. Vonda, what have you learned from all this? Will you ever sell your soul to the devil again?
Well, only for something really good, like eternal youth or a really nice car.
And Mrs. Braithwaite, if I may say so, you look awfully young to be Vonda's mother.
Well, I'm 33, but that's very nice of you to say.
And let's get a reaction from the devil, Mephistopheles. Any comment? Mephistopheles?
Leave me alone! I'm sorry. It's not you, Doug. It's just that I'm out $2,700 that I'll probably never see again. Plus, I have to pay damages. What am I gonna do with 3 bonnet hair dryers? Mark my word, the winch will be mine.
Next time, you'll get it in writing.
I had it in writing. You, watching this at home, worship me. I command you, become my willing thralls and live eternally.
And that's all for this edition of the People's Court.
Know the sweet, sublime feeling of complete obedience to your evil master. Come serve me, the Prince of Darkness. I command it. Hear me.
Come on, let's go. Come on.
No, wait. Just a second. Obey me. Obey me.
Remember,
Bailiff pulls Mustapheles off screen, but he jumps on for one more on-screen bout of laughter before being pulled away again.
remember,
Obey me.
if someone cheats you in a business dealing and you feel you're being intimidated, don't take the law into your own hands. Take them to the People's Court.
Dun,
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 dun.
dun.
Do 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 do.
Thank you.
Do. Anyway,
John Lovitz is a treasure, especially because he punched Andy Dick right in the face.
Yep.
yes.
Gosh, that is one of when Jan and Amy. Oh my gosh, when Jan Hooks, the mom goes, "Yes, Your Honor, I am a barfly." Perfect.
You were an excellent 33-year-old mother, Amy.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
What is your skincare routine, my dear?
And when going back to the Old Glory thing, I was thinking about this. Remember back when we would watch stuff like this, and when they would talk about if you're older than 50, and we would go, "Oh man, those people are ancient." And
Yes,
now
they
look at
are.
us.
They are.
I love it.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm only 33.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait, Amy, there's someone I'm older than in the classics track? This is fantastic.
Yeah, don't let it go to your head.
Don't worry, it just goes over my head.
Well, because you should.
I feel like
I remember my mom threw my dad this like giant 40th birthday party, and everybody was doing the over the hill jokes and the blah 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 and all that, and it's like I'm gonna be 40 next year, and not okay. It's not okay.
Not okay at all.
It's not okay.
there
Check
will
on
be
your,
no
check on
no
your old
elder
friends.
jokes.
We're not okay.
There will be no elderly jokes at my 40th birthday party, says ToniAnn.
Lordy, lordy, look who's 40.
Oh.
Yep,
That was a thing.
it was.
40 was over the hill.
It
Over the
was.
hill, yeah.
Guys, I'm so glad to see all of you. This is the best way to get through the months between DragonCon.
We are
And
over halfway
Gary
there.
and I are geniuses for thinking of it. Look, eventually we're going to take over the whole con. The Classics Track is just going to be the whole convention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have the best ideas
Thank
and the
you.
best execution
Thank you.
and, the best personality.
That's the thing. And nobody seems to be picking up the hints that we keep throwing. Everybody's like, no, we'll just keep doing the things that we always do.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, how dare you?
Grassroots. That's us.
Boom.
Yeah.
We're taking it over.
Taking
We're
it.
making
You
changes.
got to keep it fresh.
You got to keep it fresh.
That's why I always keep Joe wrapped in saran wrap between
Thank you.
conventions.
I'm awaiting the shipment, the giant shipment of saran wrap that I have to roll myself in. at the beginning of every post Dragon Con weekend. But I think this was a good trial run. I think the Lord and Lady Douchebag was funnier than I expected it to be in person.
That one was a hoot. That one's going to be a good time.
I almost put in the Colonel Angus with Christopher Walken. I feel like I'm gonna have to do
That's
that.
a good one.
And then Sweaty Balls, just because.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That one's a tough one though, because it's like you have to focus on the wordplay and less on the characters.
Well, what I did was, and I think Gary and I talked about this when we don't. There are some sketches where the physical stuff is the joke.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could do the more cowbell sketch.
Yeah.
But
unless you got somebody up front hitting a cowbell, it ain't there.
Right.
It's not gonna unless we had a cosplayer doing Will Ferrell, and that's not where. So we're focusing on stuff that's just funny on the page.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
You know, we should find a skit from the Steven Seagal episode and see if we can make it work.
Yeah, I bet we could. I bet we could find it. I'm not saying we can make it work.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong there. Or Stallone's Orange Julius sketch.
Oh wow. I remember. I'm trying to. There was I'm trying to remember. There was one thing about the. Oh, that was Andrew Dice Clay that I was thinking of. Because I remember Nora Dunn quit.
Yeah.
She just didn't show for the Andrew Dice Clay show, and they did a sketch where
Joanne Hooks and Nora Dunn both had
and
protested.
Andrew Dice Clay said, "Oh, those were some fine-looking chicks." Like, oh, good job, SNL. You really.
Doinked that one.
I gotta say though, on the most recent episode of Weekend Update is today. So one of the funniest.
Hit or miss. I mean, there are seasons that it's bad. I mean, there are seasons that are just flat out terrible. But Weekend Update always was worth tuning into. I remember when I stopped liking SNL as much as I did. You know, it was right about 2 years into Sandler's run. I think when I was like, okay, this isn't for me anymore. But I would still check in at midnight for Weekend Update and then go back to doing something else when it was over.
And this season, when the 50th anniversary stuff came out, they've started focusing on. They've started looking back at stuff and like doing a lot of, on Peacock, the documentaries about the history of SNL are 5 stars. They did a whole episode about more cowbell, and it is excellent. And they try to find who the actual Bruce Dickinson was. Because he was not the real Bruce Dickinson was not involved in More Cowbell in the Blue Oyster Cult song at all. But they just thought his name sounded funny, and it does.
Yep.
But the on Weekend Update this last week, they did a joke about Russell Brand, and they said, "Well, you may think that's funny, but check this out." And they showed a clip of Russell Brand hosting SNL, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brown," and so that combination, and then that combination of 2 supremely problematic people, and they didn't know. And the thing is, the O.J. Simpson hosted 20 years before anything that we know of happened. By that I mean he totally didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, when you have a show that goes on every week and you have celebrities that are hosts and you have folks who are on it and you're even though it's live, you're still doing all these things. Obviously there's going to be problems and folks who just wind up having issues and
one of the bits on the 50th anniversary special, John Mulaney goes, like, he named however many hosts there had been, 800 and something. And he said, and strangely enough, only 2 murderers. But he didn't say who they were.
Yeah.
So one is OJ, and then, people were like, who's the other one? It's Robert Blake from Beretta.
Yeah, there's been no issues with Robert Blake.
No, because
Right?
I had forgotten all about. He may be long dead. I really don't know, but I had forgotten all about him, like shooting his wife in a restaurant and then just leaving in a limousine. I think I don't. It was something like that.
Yeah, that trial was crazy. I remember it went on forever.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was nuts.
Man, Beretta, come on.
Yeah.
What's next? Kojak's gonna do something? It's ridiculous.
You could probably do like 2 or 3 panels on Saturday Night Live. You could do
Oh,
one
at
of the
least.
ones where we have
Yeah.
like, we could have our board boss, and we could do the, best
the
skits of all
sketches.
time.
A
Yeah.
sketch
best
showdown.
sketches of all time.
Sketch showdown. I
just
like the alliteration of
Just
that.
a panel on talking about it. We could do sketches, like we did tonight, and have it like in the family hour, and another one after dark. We could
Yeah.
Yeah. So
with
Joe,
2 sets of sketches, depending on age group. And
I think we should call it here, Joe. Saturday night at DragonCon, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
The
it.
crazy thing
At
is, like,
11:30 when Saturday Night Live is on.
when
What are you going to
when
go?
we're
You
in
going to
the
watch it on TV or you want to come see it in person?
Yes.
see-
I love it.
you want to see
Yeah.
non-professional convention people do it instead of professionals.
the
Well,
not
yeah,
ready
they're-
for Dragon Con players.
Yes.
So what you're telling me is my Saturday cosplay needs to be Linda Richmond. Check.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Rosanna Dana.
Coffee
Talk.
talk with Linda
Coffee
Richmond. Talk amongst
Love.
yourself. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. I'm a little verklempt.
The Holy Roman Empire. Neither holy nor Roman nor an empire.
The Mormon Tabernacle
every
Choir
year,
is
too.
not Mormon. It's not in a tabernacle, but they are a choir.
You guys.
And only some people love them. They're an acquired taste.
No.
All right, out. Gary, no.
You're going. Oh, I don't have the thing. I don't.
We could
Oh no.
we could also do there was the Star Wars Undercover Boss with Kylo Ren.
Oh, yes.
That would be a really
Yes.
good and I don't think the Star Wars folks in the other tracks will get mad at us for that because that's
Yes.
Look, my drink.
No,
is-
we have we have permission
Invisible.
to do the original trilogy. So yeah, I don't know if we can get away with Kylo.
I don't
I mean,
think they
but-
would care.
Yeah, we're talking about Saturday Night
I
Live.
think we have gotten enough.
Has it been 10 years since the Kylo Ren?
I think so.
I'm taking a look. Let me see.
Yeah, let us ask the internet.
2016. So almost.
Almost.
Weird.
Next
Almost.
year.
We'll do the Undercover Boss episode. There's the thing about SNL that I'm just gonna watch it and I don't care. I don't care if I know the host. I don't care. Now, a lot of times I got to say I may fast forward through the musical guest, but sometimes I don't.
Mm.
Elton John and Brandy Carlisle were terrific this last week.
I do like it when the musical guests are also not when they're also like the host, but like when when they participate, like Dave Grohl participated
Oh my
in a
gosh.
couple things, and there were some other where they just like were really funny. Even if they weren't in, a bunch of skits and they were just in 1 or 2, like that was
That's what that is one of my favorite things when they do stuff that either they've never had a chance to do before or the stuff you didn't expect them to be able to do.
Mm.
Like a Pearl Jam was in a Twilight Zone sketch one time. Like they did for some reason like there's something on the wing, and it was Pearl Jam for some reason, and that has stuck with me. Just the fact that Pearl Jam is like, yes, we'll do it, 100%.
Well, Saturday Night Live's iconic,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I will let you all go. Thank you for coming out, for hanging out with us. We're gonna at some point, the schedules of myself and Gary will coalesce to such a point that Thursday nights will be, we will have time to do more of these, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And we will see you guys all later. Now I'm going to go backwards into the depths of space.
Bye, Joe.
That's so fun.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Boy.
Gary, am I doing it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I think you
Two
gotta
in the
stop
Vulcan and one in the
recording
Spock. I don't know.
in the
Oh,
YouTube
jeez,
thing.
you've ruined it. Gary, you ruined
Bye.
it. Ah.